Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this paper crafting tutorial. Today we're going to be making a lovely silhouette card, and let me show you the card if I can pick it up. This is the card we're making today, and this is actually one stamp set, and then I've added the little sentiment here, and you can see this one here is Daffodil Delight. And I just love, I've stamped here in Memento Tuxedo Black. This time I'm going to stamp in Night of Navy, so it's also going to be a silhouette but not as harsh, and I do love the way this turned out. It's beautiful countryside. Now I'm stamping on designer series paper actually, so I didn't ink blend the background, and this one is from Beautiful Bokeh, and this is the Daffodil Delight. This one here is Calypso Coral. Stamp set I'm going to use is this one called Peaceful View, and you can see it's one of these lovely cling background stamp sets. It's really large and it's red rubber. I know we're not making red rubber anymore, Stampin' Up isn't, but I still love my red rubber and I will be keeping my red rubber stamps. I love them, and I am sad we're not making them anymore, but I understand as well why. There is a problem with the raw materials, and so they have to make sure that they can still produce what they want to sell. So we're going to ink up here using Night of Navy ink, so I'm going to give this a really good ink up, really nice and ink. And you can see I'm stamping on a bigger piece than I'm using, and I'm actually just going to get a little bit of post-it note tape here and keep this thing in place here. And then we're just going to stamp down, and I'm using a stamping tool, but it is such a large stamp and I just find it so much easier, and just give that a really good press down. And let's have a look. Whoops, look at that, isn't that wonderful? So I'm going to just do it one more time, and I'll put it back into that corner so that I always know it's in the right place. I'm going to give it one more ink up. And then down again. Giving it a really good press down as best as I can, and let's lift it up this time and see what we've got. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That will do me. One more thing actually, I'm just going to go one more time. I just want to see if I can get a better impression on my tree. Just the tree. So let's just do that bit and see. Oh yeah, that will do fine. Right, let's set that aside for a second because there's a lot of ink on that and I want it to dry. So I'm going to close up the ink pad. There we go, and I'm going to bring in my cleaner, and this is just a simple chamois, and look how easy that cleans away all of that ink. Okay, so it's dried now, isn't it lovely? So now we want to cut it down, and we want to cut it down to measure 9.5 by 13.85. All these measurements will be on the blog post, so don't worry. So I'm going to cut down first on the one side. Let's measure, we need to get to 9.5. So I don't want to cut off so much on that side. So let's see, 9.5 now. Oh, that's fine. Perfect. Okay. Keeps wanting to fall out there. And then we're going to just do 13.85. So let's do up here first. and then 13.85 is roughly around there. So I don't want to lose so much of the base. So I'm just making sure I get things centered the way I want it. So this is the beauty of this, cutting it down afterward. 13.85 is here. So that should be fine. Yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. Yeah. Right, so let's move this out of the way. Get rid of these pieces. And now we're ready to assemble our card. So my card base is Calypso Coral, so it's a standard A6 card base. It's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And for ease, I'm actually just going to use some seal. I've lost the lid to my seal, unfortunately. I don't know where it is. This is just basic white. And this measures 14.35 by 10. But all the measurements, as well as all the supplies I've used, you can find on the blog post. And you can find that in the link to that in the description box below, as well as all my social media links. So do check that out. And then I'm going to stick this down on the front. You could, if you wanted to, pop this up, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to center this top to bottom, which will be fine like that. And then we're going to pick our sentiment together. And this is from one of my favourite ephemera packs, Greetings for All. And I love the black ones. So let's have a look at these ones. We've got, I think I'm going to do Thinking of You again. You could do Happy Halloween, would work very much here. Happy Holidays is very American. And we're here in the UK, so I'm not going to do that. So I think I'm going to do Thinking of You again, because it's one of those things that you don't want to need, but unfortunately we all need at some point, is those kind of cards. So let's put a bit of glue. That's not wanting to work today. Let's try this one. Too much glue, of course. One of those things. Just going to get a tissue and wipe off the excess at the back. And then just going to stick that down as straight as possible. And there we go. There we have two lovely Thinking of You cards featuring the silhouette technique. I hope you enjoyed that paper crafting card making tutorial. If you did, I'd be grateful if you could give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you wanted more information, as I said, you can find all the links below in the description box. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.